Activists with Direct Action Everywhere have organized under the slogan, "It's not food, it's violence," since our inception in 2013. And the simple idea at heart permeates through all of our activities, whether it is disrupting an event centered on violence, connecting with a community that is grappling with a culture steeped in violence, or shifting conversations by pledging against complicity in contexts that normalize violence. Direct Action Everywhere, or DXE, is a grassroots network that serves as a platform to empower individuals to challenge oppressive norms through bold, direct action. We act in efforts to build a movement that will elicit systemic change for non-human animals. When I participated in my first DXE protest, the slogan, "It's not food, it's violence," destabilized me in a transformative way. The simple act of renaming the acceptable, of implicating the norm, carries a subtle power. As animal rights activists, as vegans, and as people seeking to reduce harm, we often find ourselves grinding against societal norms and against those around us. As individuals who are disrupting the status quo, the manner in which we articulate our perspective is imperative when communicating with those who do not yet recognize the violence inherent in our systems, those who do not yet navigate within our framework. Recently, a fellow activist presented a seemingly straightforward question to me. How do we define oppression? But I quickly realized it was not so straightforward once we unpacked it, and the true question was posed. How does our conception differ from how it is perceived and understood on a societal level? While I was not asked this in an animal rights space, I was with fellow social justice activists who do respect my work. So I so genuinely sought to connect our differing ways of framing humanity's troubling relationship with non-human animals. I started to contemplate where we, as a movement, might be failing to articulate our message well. While oppression may mean many different things, and arguments regarding its definition may traverse into disparate directions or highly ideological realms, I found the concept of violence to maintain a unique degree of clarity. When we emphasize human diets and lifestyles, we center ourselves, the group in power, which does not align with the legacy of effective social justice movements that center the oppressed group for which they advocate. Refocusing our language to bring attention to the perpetuation of violence grounds this movement in the spirit of social justice. Our societal response to violence and the harm it brings is not disparate. Rather, we all seek to hinder it. And while we may not all conceive of oppression in the same way, violence is embedded in all oppression. Those concerned with social justice are compelled by exactly this, their refusal to tolerate violence. The harm humanity inflicts upon non-human animals is systemically detached from our collective conception of violence. Our social structures facilitate this violence, and it makes it our baseline of normalcy and thus benign. By reframing the ideas we think we authentically understand and re-articulating what we have come to call normal, we cannot help but recognize the current state of affairs as unacceptably violent. We must work as a movement for animals to frame and articulate this violence in clear and unwavering terms, because this struggle for justice rests upon all of us, vegan or not.